In the previous lecture, you learned about the three methods you can use to apply CSS rule sets. In this lecture, you're going to learn how easy it is to use these three methods. So let's open up brackets. Okay, we're going to use the same file we used before. And here we're going to change this text. And I'm going to say this is styled using the method of inline CSS style. Okay, now I'm just gonna copy and paste the same text. And I'm gonna replace it on the P tag, and I'm gonna say, okay, this is misspelled here. I'm gonna say, instead of an inline CSS style, we're gonna put internal style sheet. Okay, and we're gonna create another element here, which is the div element, and I'm gonna do the same thing here, copy and paste, and I'm just gonna change it to external style sheet. Okay. Now I'm just gonna separate these. Okay, so the first one is inline CSS style. So we're gonna add the style attribute, and we're gonna add a property name and a property value. In this case, we're gonna add a color for our property name, and then we're gonna add green for our property value. Close it up with a semicolon. Now let's save it and see the changes. You can open the folder where that file is located at, and just double click on it, and it should open up in the browser. Now you can see the color of the heading 1 has been changed. So let's go back to our file here, and we're gonna work on the second method. The second method is the internal style sheet. This method involves working in the head section. So create a style element, and we're gonna add a type attribute. We're gonna put the value of text backslash CSS. Then we just close it up. Now, what the type attribute does is it basically defines the styling language. That's all it does. So now we're gonna target this text here, and we're just gonna select the tag name. In this case, is the P, like this, and then opening and closing brackets, curly brackets. And again, we gotta add our property name and a property value. Property name is gonna be color, the same thing. And a property value, in this case, we're gonna add blue. Now we can go back over here and see those changes. You can see the text has been changed to blue. It looks purple, but it's blue. Now, the last method is the external style sheet. For this method, as I have mentioned it before, we create a CSS file. So go to File, then New. You can do it through here. Okay, File, then New, or just right-click anywhere here and create a new file. I'm gonna name it style.css. Okay. So we're gonna do the same thing. Let's go back to our HTML file, and we're gonna target now the last element here. I'm gonna select div. So basically, it's the same thing. And I'm gonna add the color of I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna add brown this time. Okay, let's save it and check it out. Okay, let's refresh the page, and there's no changes. It's still the same with the same color. And the reason is because there is not a relationship between these two files. So we have to reference the style sheet, okay, in the web page. So we gotta create a link element in the head section too. And this link element, I'm going to explain a little bit about it, okay? The link element helps to have a relationship between the current web page and an external file. It's most used to link style sheets. In this case, the style CSS file here, right? Okay, let's create a link element here. And this is basically a self-closing tag, okay? So we're gonna add a rel attribute, rel, and we're gonna put the value of style sheet. Okay. What this means is that it specifies a relationship between the linked file and the current file. Now let's add a type attribute here. Let's put text and backslash CSS as our value there. This specifies the type of the style sheet that has been linked. And finally, the last attribute we're gonna use is the href. Okay, href. We're just gonna put the name of our file, style.css. This attribute basically gets the URL of the style sheet linked. These three attributes are the most common to use in a link element. Okay, now let's save it and see those changes. As you see here, now it has been changed to brown. Well, that is it for this lecture. In the next lecture, I'm going to show you the most common ways of how to select HTML elements in CSS.